Yeah, pretty much, for me, the game, it starts and ends. The first 4 minutes of each half, we were outscored 18-0. So just that in general, like you putting yourself in a hole. The first half we fought ourselves out of a hole, and then the second half, we put ourselves right back in a hole. Right now we just can't seem to sustain. The one thing about it, for me, was disappointing because as a player, I hung my hat on this, is we gotta be smart in situations, and we can't continue to lose games or put ourselves in holes based on the things that we're doing. Now, if somebody's taking things away from us, cool, you know what I mean? But, we have 10 turnovers, a lot of them are unforced, and then, you look at the stat sheet, it's a little jaded. It says that they have 19, fast break point star 0. Most people that see that, if you didn't watch the game, you'll be like, man, Northwestern really, ran it down, Georgia Tech's throat. But in reality, those were live ball turnovers and our bad shots. And that just bled, and we are our own worst enemy at times, and tonight that's what we did. The game got away from us strictly on those two things. But 18-0, first 4 minutes of the first half, we go down 7-0. And then the second half, the first 4 minutes, you're down 11-0. And that, for me, that's pretty much the game.
Okay.
Does this sort of seem like a 2 steps forward, 1 step back situation? I mean, you thought you guys were sort of trending the right way?
I did. I'm disappointed, but we'll get back on track. I had that right until midnight, and then you let it go. But the thing about it is this looked like 3-4 games ago, and for me, that was disappointing. The disappointing thing. I'm just telling you, like, it doesn't matter whether you're whole, whether you have injuries. You just can't. You can't have live ball turnovers. That's one. And sometimes when you take bad shots, that's like a live ball turnover. And so again, when I look at the stat sheet, it's crazy to think that a team like Northwestern, who doesn't run at all, beat us 19-0 in fast break points. So, again, we have to become a smarter team if we want to be successful.
What went into the decision to play Ryan tonight, and it seemed like he did well in the situation given the matchup?
Well, Ryan wasn't going to sit over there all season. I just think, he's had a whole lot of things going on. He's been in and out. But the one thing I'll say about Ryan is that he was ready to play. And so I'm proud of him for that. It wasn't easy. He hadn't played all year. He came in and he just wasn't in the game. He played well. And so I think that's something that he can build on, and I look forward to him getting out there more.
I know Javian was back, but it didn't seem like he was really back tonight, right? Like he'll play better moving forward, I would expect.
Yeah, he didn't make shots. He didn't do some things that, he's been out a minute, but, to have him back out there on the floor, we can get some continuity and some flow moving forward, hopefully. Honestly, we have to get more production on a consistent basis from him and Nate, scoring the ball. If they're going to have the ball in their hands as much as they do, they have to be a little bit more productive, scoring the ball, that is.
Yeah.
Not to beat a dead horse, but by really rough game for him. I think it was minus 22 for most of the game. Pulled it up a hair at the end, but just was kind of a non-factor, and has been a non-factor in a lot of games this year for you guys. And I know you had big expectations for him going into year 2. Just how do you navigate that with him and trying to get what you expect out of him when you're so heavily invested in him?
Right now you're trying to just figure it out. You know, he was a negative 20. And it's just all the little things, fumbling of the ball and things of that nature. I always say this, you know, I've been doing this a long time, and you gotta, in order to get better, you gotta own what you do, right? It's even, you know, as a coach, player, whatever it is, you gotta own what you do. And I talk to him just like I talk to the rest of the guys. You gotta own what you do to get better. Like, you can't run from it. And so I think that's the biggest thing. And it has to be back to the basics. And if you remember, not even remember, but if you hear me talk when I talk about our team and I talk about bias, the attention to detail, to me that's a lack of focus on a consistent basis. You know, and I think that he has to become more laser focused in understanding the assignment each and every game.
Either you two, you got another one?
Yeah, you brought in Luke to be, you know, kind of that corner 3 guy, 3-and-D, and is it a confidence thing now with him? Maybe he just needs to see it go through. It seems like he cannot buy that 3 that you need in critical spots. He'll get open and just, it's not going down for him.
Right. It could be a confidence thing, but again, it's part of it. You know what I'm saying? It's part of it. You know, I've been a player. I just, you know, after a while, you know, we're third of the season. Third of the season is done now. Like, in order to get better, like, you just gotta own it. Like, everybody has to own it, and that's how we have to get better. We gotta roll up our sleeves. Like, it's not about pointing fingers. Like, we collectively have to get better, period. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no ifs, no ands, and no buts about it, you know, but individually you have to own your part in order to be successful. And I think for Luke, you know, and even some of the other guys, that's what they have to do. And it gets a little hard because they're not kids, but the reality of it is that, you know, they still haven't seen a whole lot and been through a whole lot of adversity in their lives, so they're still trying to figure that part out as well.
One more.
Sure. Lance had the 3 turnovers stepping out on the sideline. I know you guys didn't get maybe like to practice in here as much. Is that the 3-point line messing with him a little bit with his placement where the NBA line is over there versus the college line inside?
The NBA line is definitely different. You know, it's short. It's not as much room in corners. And I just think, like, for me, there was a couple of times where I thought he passed up a good shot anyway. You know, sometimes you just got to take the good shot and find your rhythm. And, you know, I do think that affected him a bit, you know, but, I mean, Lance still figures it out. You know, you don't want those turnovers, but he's a guy that you never can fault his effort. So therefore, you kind of live with everything he does. You know what I mean? So he did figure out. He turned that around, and you know, he ended up having a productive game. I won't say he had a good game, but he had a productive game. He did. He had a productive game.
Thanks, Coach.